Hello, it's Angie with Heart Wellness Coaching, and it's Functional Friday. It's when I bring you some functional medicine tips for your health and well-being. Hi everyone who is out there on Facebook Live right now. Hi, and if you are joining me live, please say hello so I can give you a shout out, and let me know if you're watching the replay so I know who I'm connecting with. So today I want to talk to you about, one of the important stages of digestion. Digestion is, of course, a topic that we can go on and on and on about. But there's a piece of it that I had a lot of personal experience with, and I feel like it's actually really common. I see it on a lot of clients. And so I want to share with you one of the most important things to consider when it comes to proper digestion, and that is your stomach acid. So we see so many people taking stomach acid blockers, right? There are so many people who go to their doctor and they say, I've got this heartburn and it's unbearable, and they get put on stomach acid blockers. And those are actually one of the worst things that you can be on. They actually just strip your stomach acid even more. And it is so important to have the proper acidic environment in our stomach to be able to properly break down food at that stage of digestion. And a lot of people who think they have too much acid, or they're having reflux, it's not an issue of too much acid. There are other things involved that are going on that are creating a reflux of acid up into the esophagus, and part of it is the gastric, that sphincter at the top is not closing fully. If there's low stomach acid, then other acids can sometimes develop because of foods kind of fermenting in the stomach that shouldn't be, and so that's creating different types of acids that are causing some burning. So it's actually not typically too much acid. It's just there are other things going on, but the symptom feels like too much acid. But then there are a lot of people who have no idea that their stomach acid is low, but they have symptoms like they have either really frequent diarrhea, or they're having constipation, or it's kind of back and forth, like they never really have normal bowel movements. They might feel really full after eating just a small amount of protein. People who feel like, oh, I don't like meat, I feel really full and yucky after I eat meat. A lot of times that's not enough stomach acid. People who have really brittle nails or vertical ridges in their nails, people who are having issues with their hair thinning, some skin issues, inability to put on muscle or losing muscle. These are all symptoms. There are quite a few more, and I work with people all the time on this, but these are, shortness of breath is another one, because your stomach is not breaking down your protein. And if you're not breaking down those protein foods, then you're not getting enough iron. So I had personal experience with this. Mine was crazy low, and I think it was because I had a pretty bad bout of food poisoning. So it was like 6 months prior, I had food poisoning, and I was struggling with shortness of breath. I was actually on a 14-mile hike in Glacier National Park, and I was really struggling. I was really short of breath. I was panicky. I couldn't figure out why I was having such a struggle, because I thought I was in shape. And I went back and had my doctor just run a bunch of labs to see what was going on. And my ferritin levels, which is the stored iron, my ferritin levels were like 9. And normal is like 60 to 130 or something like that. So my levels were very, very low. So that totally explained a lot of my symptoms. So in order to get my iron up, I started taking iron supplements. But I got it checked again, and it only went up to 13. So that's when someone said, well, maybe you're not breaking down the protein. It doesn't matter what you put in your body. If you're not absorbing it, you're not getting it. So we're not, if people say you are what you eat, well, actually you are what you absorb. So we need to know that we're properly breaking our foods down so that we can absorb them. So I had someone suggest that I take some supplemental stomach acid. So I started taking, it's called betaine HCl. So I started taking some supplemental stomach acid, and I took like 250 milligram capsules. And then I learned that there's this whole protocol and I teach it to my clients now. There's this whole protocol of gradually titrating up supplemental stomach acid to the point where you hit a threshold where you take that, that next highest dose and you feel acid, you feel a yucky, burny feeling, either in your chest or your neck or even in your jaw or your ears. And I finally, I kind of kept titrating up, and I wasn't feeling anything. Pretty soon I was taking so many capsules. I was like, this is unmanageable. I can't swallow this many. So then I found the higher dose. So then I found these. These are 650 milligrams of supplemental stomach acid per capsule. So I started doing these because it was more higher dose in one pill, and I was just taking so many. And I finally got to 18. So I had this whole handful of stomach acid that I was taking prior to a high protein meal. This is just before a meal. This isn't all my other supplements combined. This is just stomach acid. And I had to take this before I would have like a meal with animal protein. And that was my threshold. I finally hit the threshold, and then I started backing down, and I primed my pump. I taught my body how to produce its own stomach acid. But it wasn't until I got my stomach acid up that I could get my iron levels up. And once I did, and my hair was thinning at that time too. I was like noticing that I was having a lot of thinning in my hair right up here. I have shorter breath all the time. I was tired. Once I got my stomach acid corrected and I started actually breaking down my protein and absorbing the protein and the iron, I started to feel better. So, and it totally, it helped me just with every stage of digestion and elimination. So if you are struggling with digestive issues, gas, just really irregular bowel movements, if you're feeling fatigue, shortness of breath, if you have vertical ridges in your nails, or your nails are very brittle and weak, if your hair is thinning, there's a lot more symptoms. And again, it's something that I work very closely with my clients on. But consider, and even if you feel like an acid kind of feeling, consider, hi, Chris. Consider that you could have low stomach acid, and I'm happy to work with you to help you. There's a home test that you can do. It's a really simple home test that you can do several days in a row to get an idea if maybe your stomach acid is low. And if it is something that's causing you some symptoms, then it's certainly worth a try to supplement and get a little bit more in there. And then again, prime your pump, teach your body how to do it. You shouldn't have to be on them forever. I only take stomach acid supplementally if I know I'm going to have like a big steak or something, which I don't normally eat. So I wanted to share that. Some low stomach acid, it's also called hypochlorhydria, is super common, and most doctors are not going to talk to you about it. And if you go in and you say you're having acid reflux, they're going to probably give you an acid blocker. I saw so many people when I was working in cardiac rehab in their 60s, 70s, and 80s on acid blocking drugs, yet they were just deficient in so many things. They weren't able to put on muscle. They were weak. They were tired. They weren't absorbing anything. They were, they already probably had low stomach acid, and then they had a medication to lower it even more. It's terrible. So this is something a lot of functional medicine doctors deal with. If it's something that is extreme or outside my wheelhouse, then I would definitely want you to see a functional medicine doctor for further testing. But it is something that's very easy to correct, and it makes a huge difference in how you feel if you are low on stomach acid. Super common to be, especially after the age of 40, but even we see 30s, people in their 30s, 20s, even sometimes kids. It can be low because of a diet that's high in processed foods, fast foods, just junk food that can cause it to be low. There's a lot of other reasons that can cause that, but the most important thing is identifying it, knowing what's going on, and getting it corrected. So that's my tip for the day for Functional Friday. So again, be aware, be in your body. If you don't feel good after you eat, if you're having issues with weakness, brittle nails, hair thinning, it's not just like, oh, you're getting old. Oh, you're getting old, so you're not going to digest food very well anymore. No, that's not how it works. Our bodies are designed to work really well when we take care of them. So if you have questions, as always, send me a message and in the DMs or drop a comment below. I'm happy to respond and provide more information. If you feel like it would be beneficial for you to work with a health and wellness coach, I'm taking more clients, and my group program, people are doing really well in that right now. And we do address a lot of digestion types of issues in the group program. So anyway, that is it. It's beautiful out if you're in the Pacific Northwest. So I hope you're getting out today to get some good natural vitamin D and enjoy that sun, and have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.